Welcome to Ill-Equipped History, where two best friends tell you about a story in history. And I'm Emileigh, and this is Morgan.
Hi.
I almost forgot the name of our podcast. That's why I stuttered. I went Ill-Equipped History. Yeah, that's it.
It's just ill-equipped. We're just ill-equipped.
This is only our 70th episode. It's reasonable to not remember, right?
Yeah.
It's fine. Cool. How are you?
I'm good. I am super excited because, again, these are recorded way in advance. The collab that we have with the History Things just dropped like yesterday, right? As of the time of this recording. So
so it's out.
We hope you guys have already listened to it and subscribed to the History Things because they're amazing. And we hope you really liked the episode because it was so much fun to do.
Yeah. We love it. And it is, it's the Battle of Athens, so you can't go wrong. And what I loved was having another set of people that didn't know about that story hear about it for the first time, and their minds are blown too. So.
Oh, they were so blown. Poor Pat was just like, what? The entire time. Like, excuse me? What?
Yeah. Why would they do this? Corruption!
But why, though? I don't know.
But why? What else did they have to do?
It was McMinn County. There's nothing else to do. They've already tipped all the cows over.
All right. They've only got the courthouse to gather at on Sundays.
That's it.
They got bored Monday through Saturday.
So why not crime?
Why not crime?
The most high level white collar crime you can imagine.
Yeah. Y'all ever thought about, I don't know, voter fraud?
Yeah. Blackmail.
Beating up people. Moida. So, in other news, school started.
How was that for you?
Not only is school started, we all get a break from each other. My daughter's very excited. My son, he honestly just couldn't give two shits. Mm-hmm. He, didn't want to go, but he's, chill about it. He's acting like he's too cool. He barely says bye anymore. It's whatever.
This 7-year-old is like, I'm too cool for school.
I'm too cool. They ride the bus home now.
Really?
I don't have to sit in the car line to pick them up anymore. And today was their first day, as of recording, obviously. Today was their first full day back together. So it was the first day that they rode the bus home together, and they got off that bus. They're both chatting with the bus driver. They're walking down the driveway. They're waving bye to everybody like they own the bus. And I'm standing on the porch, and they see me, and they just both take off in a sprint, and they're like, "We rode a bus!"
That's so cute. This is the most iconic American experience, the mom waiting on the front porch for two kids running towards her off the school bus.
Hi, baby. How was your day?
I mean, that's exactly what I'm imagining.
I'm pretty sure I sounded just like that, too. Extra Southern. Hey, babies.
How was your first day at school?
Do you have fun?
Make new friends?
How was the bus?
Oh,
I know, but my favorite part was that transition time that we all know kids have between school and home. Mm-hmm. We used to spend in the car together where they were just angry at me all the time. But they get to decompress for that hour on the way home. And they were just happy.
Yay, that's so nice. I love that for you.
Yeah. Thanks. So how's school going for you? Is it crazy yet?
Yes. First day back.
Yeah.
As an employee, I start back a week before the kids come back, of course.
Right.
So it was just trainings, a lot of trainings, a lot of the same trainings, over and over and over again.
Remind you.
Yeah,
Reminders.
Yeah. But literally my first day, I walk in, I start I put up a new poster that I got at one of the trainings in my little section of my office that I share with someone else. And I'm like, all right, today's going to be a good first day. And I immediately get a text from one of the teachers. Morgan, are you here? And I was like, yeah, she's like, can you please? I was like, do you need me to come to the room? She's like, yes, please. And we have some, it's nothing bad, but just some situations that everyone's like, we need to take care of this immediately. And I'm like, all right, let's take care of this.
Some situations.
Let's take care of some situations. And thankfully everyone's on board.
Cool.
The parents are super involved in it, and we're going to get the show on the road.
Hey, you know what? That's a good day to find out that there's a problem. Day one, start off strong with the help.
If only that was the only thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, first day struggles. But you know what? It was fine. I feel good about this year. I met some new people today that are going to help me out this year, and I'm just like, we're just going to get it done. I'm just going to put my head to a grindstone and just go.
Yeah. That's how I feel about this year. My daughter got my son's old teachers from last year. Mm-hmm. So we're just walking in and we're like, hey, we know the drill there. We're good. And my son has a teacher, and she's just the sweetest thing. Messaged me today, said he had a good day. He forgot his folder, so that's why she messaged me. But said he's the sweetest thing. So my son gave her an 11 out of 10, and he's an honest kid. So if he brutal. Says that, he's so brutal.
Aww.
I know. All right. Well, you know what? Enough about school. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Let's talk about history.
History. It's sometime in the 1890s in Richmond, Kentucky. The local sheriff and judge are arguing over a local resident that the sheriff had to pay a visit to that day. No, I will not be returning to that house.
If there is an issue, yes you will. You're the sheriff, for God's sake. He's just one man.
One man that ran off not only myself, but 7 of my deputies.
How in the hell did he run off all 8 of you?
He had a cannon!
Oh, what?
You heard me. I will not be stepping foot on that property unless you deploy an entire company of the militia to accompany me. It's a death sentence otherwise.
Well, in light of this new information, I guess that's reasonable.
I'm glad we've come to this agreement. Now, you want some whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
The man they were referring to is known as the Lion of Whitehall, one of the most successful and unhinged abolitionists of the 19th century. His name was Cassius Marcellus Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is, Morgan?
Not the abolitionist, no.
Oh, who do you know that is named Cassius Marcellus Clay?
Muhammad Ali.
All right, that is, you know what? That was actually at the end of my thing today, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because it has nothing to do with this. But it would be fun to know that ahead of time and then kind of form your opinion later. But from what I could tell, I don't think his family, the Clays, and the Clay we're talking about, I don't think they're in the same family tree. I don't think they're related. They just have the same last name. Okay. I did actually look at Muhammad Ali's family tree to figure it out, but I couldn't see any correlations.
Okay.
But Muhammad Ali's father was named Cassius Marcellus Clay in honor of the guy we're talking about today.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So Muhammad Ali was named Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. So in adulthood, Muhammad Ali changed his name to Muhammad Ali because he felt like it was a name associated to the slave trade, which I could see that, but also the opposite as well. So
Yeah.
I'll let y'all form your own opinions.
And this
about
was
that.
during the time of like the civil rights movement. You know, Malcolm X was a really big person during the civil rights movement. He had a lot of rhetoric about Black Americans and stuff with that that we won't go into, but
yeah. So this guy did a lot of good. He did not come from a family that, well, I'm sure his family did some good, but just
overall his family's not great.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
So I would like to shout out real fast my daughter's friend's dad, because he's the only reason I know about this guy. I went to my daughter's friend's birthday party a couple months ago, and it got brought out that I had a history podcast with, Morgan, of course, and that we were into the paranormal as well, and we started talking about the places we've gone and all this other stuff, and he's like, did you hear about this guy? And then showed me a quick video on it, and I was like, writing that down for later, thank you, sir.
Yes. So, love new ideas.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about his early life. He was born October 19th of 1810 in Madison County, Kentucky. Also, if you hear noises in the background, my husband is playing on the VR headset. So, ignore that. Okay, so his parents were Green Clay, who would go on to be a soldier in the War of 1812. So just when Cassius was only 2 years old. And Sally Clay, who was from a rich family. Do I have time to get into her family? No, but she was loaded. Okay. So, together they had 7 kids. He was born into a family that was one of the wealthiest slave owners of all time. Not just Kentucky, but of all time.
That's crazy.
And, yeah. So, the name of the house they lived in, because you're not rich if your house doesn't have a name, was Whitehall.
Okay.
This is 2 words. There is another Whitehall in Kentucky. This Whitehall and the other Whitehall both still stand.
Okay.
1 word is literally a house that is painted white. This one I actually have a picture of in the skit. If you go down, it's brick, it's beautiful, it's giving. Amazing.
It is a beautiful house.
That's Whitehall. His father was the cousin of Senator Henry Clay, who was one of the guys that forged the Compromise of 1850 to maintain the Union.
Okay.
So he was it's a well-off family. Right. The more you dig into it, this guy's a lawyer, this guy's a senator, this guy's, lots of Clays going on in legislature at the time. He lived in Kentucky for most of his life. It's pretty much all I had about, his childhood, because 1800s.
Yeah.
So he goes off to college, and he attends a couple smaller colleges in the Kentucky area. And then he goes to a little-known college. I don't know if y'all know it. Yale.
Never heard
Yale.
of it. Never heard of it.
Nah. Not known. So, he went between 1831 and 1832, where he studied law to become a lawyer.
Ooh.
And when he was in college, he was very deeply influenced by William Lloyd Garrison. Do you recognize that name?
I don't think I've heard of it.
He was an American journalist who published a newspaper called The Liberator between 1831 and 1865.
I think I've heard of the newspaper.
Yeah, he helped lead one of the most successful abolitionist campaigns against slavery, in the United States.
Okay, cool.
So he was going around speaking on anti-slavery. And he heard one of these speeches, Clay did, and was turned on to the movement immediately, grasped onto it, was like, we need to. And I'm sure he had his thoughts already, but he was very influenced by Garrison. So, also, real quick definition, abolitionists want the slaves gone like right now, and emancipationists want to get rid of them slowly over time.
More of like
so we're going to talk
procedural,
a gradual. Way. Yes. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I just wanted to get those two, down before we proceed. So, even while at Yale, people really hated him for his stance.
Really? Wow.
Because, of course, they did. Yeah. Okay, so he had this thing. Okay, because of the 1800s of it all, if you disagreed with someone and you were a manly man, what did you do? Duel. So he would get challenged to duels, and then he figured out he's really fucking good at dueling. He kept winning, and he kept winning. So then, when people started opposing him, not agreeing with him, he'd just challenge them to a duel. He never lost.
That's so funny.
Not once did he lose a duel. He got the reputation of being the deadliest duelist in North America before graduating.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah. And as soon as he got back from Kentucky, he started shouting all of his opinions from all the rooftops. Like, literally. And his father passed away kind of in this time, differing sources. Some say right after he got out of college. Some say like before he got out of college. Either way, everything was left to him.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm very surprised that a lot of students at Yale were very against his ideas, because Yale is like in the north, and that's where like a lot of...
I don't know if it was just Yale, because I think he went to a couple other smaller colleges like in Kentucky.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't think it was specifically Yale.
I was like, that's
surprising. You might have a few transplants. Yeah,
that's true.
You might have a few people from the South going up to Yale.
That's true.
But he inherited all the land, all the money, all the slaves, everything. So do you know what he did? He freed them all.
That's incredible.
It was said that it cost him about $40,000 then, which was about $2 million in today's money. And he even gave some of them land and money.
That's amazing. Sorry, I just said that weird. That's amazing.
That's
amazing.
Are you still in the judge
I
accent?
guess. I'm going full foghorn, leghorn over here.
Yeah.
No, that's incredible. Like, and he was just like, like, here's some land, here's some property, like, go be free. That's incredible.
And all the while, dueling anyone that dare oppose him. He just did that for, like, the rest of his life. If I don't mention dueling again, it's because he just kept doing it.
He's doing it the entire time.
The entire time, yeah.
I love that.
So, in 1833, he married Mary Jane Warfield. They would go on to have 10 children, 6 of which made it to adulthood. And somewhere in there, they adopted another kid. And historians think that was a child from an affair he had. Because apparently he was doing that too. But, like, whatever.
We can't all be perfect.
No. So, you freed all your slaves. They still retained Whitehall. And he would continue to retain Whitehall for his entire life. That's where his wife and his kids grew up. But, like, not all the slaves are free. So what do you do now?
Free the rest of them.
Your next plan of action.
Just free the rest of them.
Just duel until they're free.
Fight everyone in the South. one at a time. We never would have had to have this civil war if he was just allowed to duel everyone in the South one-on-one.
I know. Eventually, they'd be like, fine, let him go. I don't want to duel that guy. So, in 1835, at the ripe age of 25 years old, he ran for legislator. So,
okay.
He was in the House of Representatives. He represented Madison County, and he was part of the Whig Party at the time.
Gotcha.
I would love to regale you all about the Whig Party. Google it, y'all. Seriously. Just know that, like, at this point, the Republican Party didn't really exist. The Democrats did. And then there was the Whig Party. Eventually, the Whig Party fell off, and then we have the two main ones we have now. There we go. So, during his time, between 1835 and 1941, being in the House of Representatives, he advocated for the system of gradual emancipation. So I know we call him an abolitionist, which is what he really wanted, but I guess at this point he's trying to take what he can get.
Yeah.
So gradual emancipation.
Bit by bit.
And then he helped reform the jury system, which apparently was needed. I don't know what was wrong with it back then, but if it needed a full reform, it couldn't have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably like, hey, the defendant knows Jim Bob. Let's put him on the jury. And it's not rigged at all.
I feel like, yeah, it was just super
rigged.
duper corrupt, yeah.
Yeah. Biased. So, in 1841, he was unfortunately defeated by all his anti-slavery views.
Oh.
And, you know, the people of Kentucky, the pro-slavery people of Kentucky were like, whew, got rid of him,
yeah.
right?
No.
Wrong. No.
He will just duel them.
No. Bam, bam, bam. So, he was like, fine, y'all don't want to listen to me in, you know, an elected position. I'll just start traveling and touring the country and giving speeches. And he started winning people over.
That's incredible. So,
my next section is literally titled, Not Giving a Fuck. So, he was giving one of his anti-slavery speeches in 1843. And the local people, I don't know exactly where this is, but obviously it's, you know, in the American South.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in the South were like, you know, there's really only way to get rid of this guy. And it's kill him. Obviously not in a duel, because that...
Was it lynching? The South loves to lynch. Okay.
They sure did, but no, not in this situation.
Okay.
They searched high and low for anyone dumb enough to try to kill this guy. And as he's wrapping up his speech, please let me regale you the end of his speech before we go any further with this.
Okay.
He was finishing the speech, and he says, "For those of you who believe in the laws of God, I make to you this argument against slavery," and sets a Bible down on the table. Then he pulls out a Constitution, a copy of the Constitution, and says, "For those of you who believe in the laws of man, I present to you this argument against slavery." Sets the Constitution on the table. Then he says, "For those of you who believe in neither the laws of God or man, I make to you this argument against slavery." Pulls out his pistols and lays them on the table.
I will kill you.
I will kill you. Let your slaves free. So that is
just
what? Go ahead.
I've been staring at this guy this whole time, and I have to say, like, just like his eyebrows, he is. I can tell he's like he's serious. Like, he means what he says.
Yeah.
Those are attack eyebrows. Like,
those are the eyebrows of a man that doesn't give a fuck. No. He will do what he wants, and he gets what he wants. So, he lays the pistols down, and a man, also a quote-unquote political enforcer, assassin, from New Orleans, who might or might not have been hired to take out this guy.
Oh.
Comes on stage, shoots him in the chest.
Oh my God.
But what Sam Brown didn't take into account is that...
Sam Brown the assassin?
Homie never leaves home without his Bowie knife against his chest. That's in a metal sheath.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he shot him in the
knife.
In the knife.
The knife caught the bullet. Cassius Clay, like a badass motherfucker, doesn't even fall down, pulls out the knife, and goes after Sam Brown. Sam Brown's friends show up, like 5 or 6 of his friends show up. Cassius Clay fights off all of these motherfuckers, gets to Sam Brown, cuts off his nose, his ear, stabs his eye, and stabs him in the chest. Do you know what his friends, because they couldn't get Cassius off the guy, do you know what their solution was? Wrangle Sam Brown away from Cassius and throw his limp body over a wall. And then, like, they said Sam, like, rolled into a creek, which I find hilarious. They just yeeted him across the wall.
He just tumbled into a creek. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did he...
Sam Brown, he lived.
Okay.
He lived. Yeah. The video I watched, I will, it is in the show notes if y'all want to watch that video. The guy's delivery's really well. They called him a Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, it sounds like he was probably horribly disfigured for the rest of his life as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, Sam Brown lives and has the audacity to take him to court for mayhem. Because after he got stabbed in the chest the first time, because I guess he went for the chest first, him and Cassius were even.
You tried
and
to shoot the man.
Everything past that was excessive. I know. But he knew a really good lawyer by the name of Henry Clay, his dad's cousin, and John Speed Smith, who was his brother-in-law.
Well, he's a lawyer also himself, too.
Exactly. So, also, Henry Clay never lost, in 40 years of experience at this point, never lost a case.
So it runs in the family.
Yeah. So you know what Henry... Cassius is dueling with guns. Henry's dueling with the law. The law. So, Henry Clay said, Your Honor, this is just standard behavior for a Kentuckian. And the judge was like, yeah, you're right.
Your Honor, I would like to present my defense. Kentucky. Agreed. Okay.
And the judge absolutely
abstained.
Acquitted. Get out of my courthouse. I want it to be known that was in 1843. He was only 33 years old.
Only 33 years old.
He was born in 1810. Oh my God. Yeah.
What a violent man.
Yeah. He was a violent man running around being chased by other violent men.
Yeah. Surviving assassination attempts.
Yeah, right? The next year, he literally got shot in the freaking chest and just, like...
This is fine.
Walked away. This is fine. The impact, just the pressure alone, I think I would have perished. It wouldn't have had to go in. I've been like, that hurt. Died. X's on my eyeballs. So, In 1844, the next year, he delivered the campaign speeches for Henry Clay, who had decided to run for president.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the North. Yep. So he came up with the slogan, Clay, Union, and Liberty.
All right.
So, cute. And apparently it is said that Henry Clay didn't send him to the South to campaign because he was afraid that he would shoot so many of the slave owners in duels that it would be considered voter fraud. You can't just shoot all the voters.
What a madman. A madman on the right side of history, I guess, but a madman.
He's so unhinged and he did so much good, but damn the way he did it.
I do have to say, I'm glad he is on the side against slavery.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine if he was on the Confederate side?
Lord.
Like,
the
history completely unwritten, just whew.
Lordy.
So, in 1845, Henry Clay unfortunately loses. So Cassius is like, what do I do now? He's like, I could write anti-slavery news articles. But the only problem is that nobody would publish them because they're anti-slavery news articles in Kentucky. So he's like, fine, fuck it. I'll make my own newspaper and call it The True American. So he did.
All right.
And he established it in Lexington, Kentucky, which is really just like right there. It's close to his house. So, but of course, he's going to make some more enemies doing this.
Yeah.
Because
he's saying things that people don't want to hear.
Exactly. So he had to arm the business. And by arming this building, this publishing office, what do you call it? Newspaper publishing place?
Oh gosh, what do you call it?
Printing
press? Something? I don't know.
I
know what you mean.
Printers. Staples. He had to arm Staples. Okay. So all I could think of was Staples when I thought of printing. Just printing.
Staples.
So he didn't just like put guns everywhere. He armored it. He covered the front of the office in like iron. He installed several cannons. And he stocked the entire thing with loaded guns and rigged it to explode. So extra. But because he's a good guy, he also didn't expect his employees to fight to the death for him.
Oh my god.
So he installed an escape hatch for them if a fight happened.
Oh my god.
And he would fight everyone off himself. This motherfucker's got a plan.
He's ready to go.
He's sitting on G, waiting on O. Like he is ready. He is like, I wish a motherfucker would.
Give me a reason. Give me an excuse.
Give me a reason. I want to go. So, you might ask, how does one kind of crazy guy fight off an entire mob of people, right?
I believe in him.
Strategy is what happens. So, except for that escape hatch, there was only one way in and out of this office. And that was, I guess, the front door. The only door in and out of this office, you open it up and it led into an iron-lined corridor.
Okay.
Super long, skinny hallway, only wide enough for one person to walk down at a time.
Okay.
So, his plan was to stand at the end of that hallway and just fight everyone one at a time.
Just create literally a bottleneck. And just like...
Yeah. Probably shoot them with the cannon he installed just in the hallway. So, did this beautiful, perfect plan ever come into fruition? Unfortunately not, because the absolute cowards in that town waited until he was bedridden with typhoid fever before they showed up. So they knew he couldn't fight back.
I bet he's still...
Because they were scared of him. They did end up burning the place down.
Oh my God.
One source said that like one of his sons was able to pack up the printing stuff. But they ultimately did move to Cincinnati, Ohio with the printing press, which was an anti-slavery stronghold. And, where's the fun in that?
Everyone already agrees with you. He's not going to change anyone's mind.
I think he got bored because in 1847, he was like, nah, might as well go to the Mexican-American War.
I'm running out of people to shoot.
I haven't shot anyone in a while. Gotta get my fix. So he was a captain in the Mexican-American War. But very quickly, him and his garrison platoon, I guess his people that he was over, I don't know the terminology, y'all, was captured and pretty much spent the remainder of the war as a POW.
Okay.
And some of his men under his command escaped. And that meant that the Mexican military were like, well, we're going to kill the rest of you because you let some of your men escape.
Oh, no.
And Cassius was like, pump the brakes. Just kill me and the officers because these men didn't have anything to do with that. We're in charge here. Mm-hmm. It's our fault. Don't let them fall just because, And apparently the Mexican military was so impressed with that, they just spared everyone.
How about that?
Honor goes a long way.
It does.
Okay, so in 1848, he secured the establishment of a public school system by donating 10 acres of land to start a church school community. Aww. Do you know what that school would turn into?
Oh, can I take okay, I'm going to guess. I bet it was...
It's in Kentucky.
Oh, that wasn't going to be my guess. Kentucky University? University of Kentucky? Oh.
Berea College, which still operates today. It is the first interracial and co-educational college in the South. Berea is open to all people, regardless of religion, race, gender, or ability to pay.
Aww.
I took a look at their website, and no student has ever paid for tuition to attend this college.
Oh, that's incredible.
I know.
That's amazing. I wish I knew about Berea.
Right. I wish we all knew about Berea.
Let's all go to Berea, you guys.
Yes, please.
17 million people attend to this school.
Berea's big, y'all. So, in 1849, he had another, we'll call it run-in. Mm. He was making another speech for abolition, of course. And after this speech, he was ambushed by the Turner brothers, whose father was a pro-slavery politician. Unfortunately, there were 6 Turner brothers. Mm. And they surrounded him, beat him, stabbed him, tried to shoot him, literally nearly killed him. But he pulled out, by God, the trusty Bowie knife and fought all 6 of them off and ended up killing one of them.
Oh my God.
This was the closest anybody ever got to killing him. And later in life, when he was asked about this incident, he said, I felt the most indignation. So he was just annoyed as fuck that he just almost died.
He was like, how dare you?
Honestly, fuck off. I am busy right now.
I am trying to eliminate slavery. Go away.
I'm busy and you just stabbed me. Like,
what are you gonna do? Stab me? Says man who got stabbed.
Okay, fine. What are you gonna do now? Shoot me? Yeah. So apparently he stabbed that guy. His name was Cyrus. Like an excessive amount of time. I'm like, dude, you good? Like you got a lot of pent up energy. I don't know exactly how he got out of that one, other than probably just like self-defense.
Probably when he killed one of the brothers, they were like, oh shit, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he didn't get any legal shit happen from that, but like, I don't know. It was 1849.
I mean, remember his previous defense? It was just Kentucky.
This is Kentucky behavior. Like, I remember, I forget where I learned this, but like a normal like defense in Tennessee used to be, he just needed a killing at some point.
Your Honor, he deserved it.
He was a shit guy. Like, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, well, he was.
Yeah, he was kind of an asshole.
Listen, I don't know exactly how true that was, but it feels true. In my soul, in my heart of hearts. It feels right.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
So, in 1854, he founded the Republican Party in Kentucky and campaigned for the first national Republican ticket in 1856. Just cash.
Whatever. Just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he's making speeches in Illinois when he meets a politician named Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, who's that guy?
And they just become buddies. Little buddies.
Little bubbies.
Little buddies. They had, why did they say it like that? They had play dates.
They were best friends.
What's wrong with me? Let me tell you about my best friend. So, his best friend, Lincoln, won the election. and he was going to be vice president.
Just tell me. Okay.
Okay, I'm done. I'll stop. I'm gonna break, Morgan.
Oh my god.
We're talking about a very deadly man. He's killed so many people.
Oh my god.
My abs. My leg. Okay.
My leg.
Oh, fucking SpongeBob. Okay. In 1860, Lincoln won the election. Okay, stop smiling. Okay. So, some say he was slated to be vice president, but he was just too Cassius Clay.
Yeah, a little too murdery.
For the position. Just a little too unhinged and unpredictable. So, they did the next best thing. And that was make him the ambassador to Russia. And so, your reaction to that. So he went to Russia in 1861.
Did he just
and stayed until...
Did he continue to shoot everyone?
God, probably.
You are the Tsar. Bam. You're Rasputin. Bam.
You don't like slavery? Bam, bam. Or you do like slavery. Sorry, I got that backwards. Don't shoot the ones that don't like slavery. Oh, God. Okay. So, the Civil War happened. pretty much right when he got over there. And
they're like, now's our chance. He's not here.
I didn't even put that together. Oh shit. Cassius is gone. Start it now. Get to the printing press. That's the word for it.
You said printing press so many times, though.
Why am I so stupid? I called it Staples before.
Staples. Because they definitely had Staples back in the 1840s. You guys, I can't even breathe I can't even breathe anymore. I keep snorting and grunting.
Oh god, I'm trying to hold my lungs together. Okay. So Russia, so in Russia, he, was doing ambassador shit and got Russia on the side of the North.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Because he told Russia to tell Great Britain and France that if they recognized the Confederacy, Russia would go to war with them. So it sounds like this is such a turning point, and this is such a big thing, but it just sounds like
he was willing to start a world war over the abolition of slavery.
It just sounds like either my daddy will beat up your daddy, or don't make me go get my big brother to, beat you up.
Y'all see Russia? She's real big. She's real big.
Real big.
And she will sit on you if you don't agree to my terms.
Hey, Great Britain, you want a duel?
Oh my god, what a maniac.
But it, worked. They're like, I ain't fucking with that. Hell no.
Well, because I remember, very early on in, the Civil War, there were European countries that were backing the Confederacy, one, because of the cotton that they had, but two, they wanted the political upheaval in the U.S. so they could, do their own shit. So that's just the whole reason that the Confederacy lost European funding was because of Cassius Clay being like, don't you dare.
I will fuck you up. I've got Russia.
Oh, it's so funny. It's really not funny. This is such a serious topic.
And it was so helpful to, the Civil War, and the way that it turned out. It probably wouldn't have turned out that way had he not done that. But, what the fuck?
His methods are just something else. I don't even know how to describe them.
He is taking risks left and right that if they went bad, they'd be bad. Mm-hmm. But they're going good.
Everyone's like, yeah, we'll listen to you.
Yeah. I don't want to... He might duel me. So, he came back from Russia in 1862. And during this time, Lincoln asked him to be Major General in the Civil War. And he publicly refused unless Lincoln agreed to free all the slaves.
Yeah. Because I know Lincoln, he was kind of how can we still resolve this and, do things in a way that the South will be happy with, and I know Cassius is like, nope.
No. He pretty much bullied the president to sign the Emancipation.
Come on, try it again, Emma. You got this.
Okay, Emancipation Proclamation. Early, thanks. Do I get a star on my chart? So he bullied him to sign that early. just going to avoid the word. He's like, I'm not doing it till you sign that. Lee's like, fine, I'll sign it.
Will you just go and duel everyone now, please?
Please, just go do the army shit. Okay, so he then, at some point, I don't know an exact date, but he helped gather 300 volunteers to help protect the White House from potential Confederate attacks.
Okay.
So,
again, he's the man with the plan. Like,
yeah. Everyone listen to Cassius.
They're like, you don't want to find out what happens if you don't listen to him.
Yeah.
He'll stick Russia on you.
The guy comes up with no nose, no ear, no eye, stab wound in the chest. He's like, listen to the man. Just do it. Whatever he says, just do it. He's a Kentuckian.
Everything's legal here, apparently.
Everything's legal. So, he went back to Russia in 1863, where, super casually, he just helped the U.S. purchase Alaska from Russia in 1867. This man had a hand in everything.
What?
He was in Russia till 1869.
And just was like, yes, we want to buy Russia. Thank you.
Yeah,
or we want to buy Alaska.
To buy this chunk of... Yeah, I was about to say.
It wouldn't surprise me if he tried to buy Russia first, and we're like, no. And he was like, okay, what about Alaska?
If he asked, they'd probably let him be like, whatever you need, buddy.
Don't say us for ourselves.
Yeah. He's probably like, can I have that cold corner up there, please? Thank you.
I heard there's gold in their hills.
So, after the Civil War, remember, he stayed until Russia until 1869. So this has to be
a few years later.
A bit after that. He supported the Cuban independence movement against Spain, forming the Cuban Charitable Aid Society.
Aww.
Cash. I know. He's just out there doing good in unhinged ways. So, Clay went through some party switching.
Mm-hmm.
So, he switched parties due to disagreements over policy issues, like President Grant's decision to interfere with Haiti and the radical Republicans' plan for reconstruction. So he joined the liberal Republicans and then later became a Democrat. And then he eventually returned to the Republican Party. But then he left the Republican Party in order to support Horace Greeley in the presidential election of 1872. But then supported Republican James G. Blaine as a presidential candidate in 1884. So, we skipped a lot, but for the rest of his, for a long time, he was skipping back and forth.
It seemed like he was just trying to find whoever aligned with his ideals, but didn't stick. He didn't care about the party. He just wanted to be with like-minded people.
Exactly. And also, the Emancipation Proclamation has been signed, although it will take, was it years? It was 2 years to get all the slaves free, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yes, because I think there were some holdouts in, Texas.
I think it was Texas that was the last.
Yeah.
Because that's Juneteenth, right? So I know it took a few years to get word out because, again, like we said in earlier episodes, you think, flip of a switch, it's done. It takes time. But by then, his goal of freeing the slaves has been completed. Mm-hmm. So he's just doing shit now.
Mm-hmm.
So later in life, I know what we said 1884, we're going to back up just a little bit. After returning back from Russia, he returned to Whitehall. And in 1878, after 45 years of marriage, he divorced his wife and claimed abandonment after she no longer tolerated his infidelities.
Oh. I forgot about that. I was so wrapped up in all the other bullshit in his life, I forgot that he was a serial cheater as well.
Yeah. So, That
sucks. Especially, for her. It sucks for her. She's stuck in this marriage with a serial cheater, and then he divorces her because she doesn't want to put up with it anymore.
Yeah. And this whole time, she's been living in Whitehall, basically by herself, because he's been traveling.
Yeah.
Raising
their kids.
6 of the 10 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Plus the adopted one. So this is where it gets real icky, and I'm very sorry. So he then married Dora Richardson in 1894. At the age of 84 years old, she was around, because, of course, 1800s, who knows the actual age, around 16. Her age was an issue. So the minister who was initially, like, slated to marry them actually bowed out. And Clay's children objected. And then Cassius reportedly mounted a cannon in his doorway to deter anyone who intended to interfere with the wedding.
What the fuck, man?
And they divorced in 1897.
So they were married for like
3 years.
3 years. Okay. I kept thinking 1880s. Like, no, that's when he divorced his wife. When did he marry?
Yeah.
Well, that poor girl.
Yeah. Apparently, like, from what I can see, it was like a orphan daughter of like a sharecropper on his property or something like that.
Wow.
So I don't know if it was him taking advantage, or if because she was only 16, she didn't have anywhere to go, and he married her.
Yeah.
To set her up until she was old enough to, like... But at 16, I mean, at that time, people were just marrying anyway.
Yeah. Well, if they only divorce, like, she's a 19-year-old... If 16's her actual age, she's a 19-year-old divorcee. Yeah. And that time, that wasn't really looked... Like, as it was really looked down upon, especially being so young. So, I don't...
Yeah.
That is really strange and weird, and I don't really... understand that.
And, you know, some sources say she could have been 17 or 18. Some sources say she could have been 12. I don't know which one to pick, so I kind of went with the middle road. So, you know, in his later years, again, I don't know exactly, like, when this happened, but what else is this guy to do? He's in his 80s. Like, late 80s. So he just started fucking with the local sheriff for funsies. And I don't know exactly what he was doing to fuck with said sheriffs, but this is where our skit comes into
I was wondering when it would.
Play. Yeah. So, apparently, a sheriff and 7 deputies were run off his property when he used his home defense cannon that he had at the top of his stairwell.
Just home defense cannon.
Yeah.
He loves his cannons, like, man.
I ain't fucking with this.
Why were
and
7
literally told the
deputies trying to get into his house?
I don't know. I don't know if, like, he did something he shouldn't have. I have no idea. But that's the story that I came across. Take it at what you will. It's hilarious. So, this one's wild to me. In 1900, 2 men broke into Whitehall, and Clay, at the age of 89, almost 90, ended up killing both of them.
Oh my God.
He shot one and stabbed the other one with the Bowie knife, the same knife. But that man's never lost a thing keeping up with a knife for that long.
That is insane.
So, his death.
He died?
Yeah. Shocking, I know. He was, in his later years, diagnosed insane shortly before his death. Some say he might have been suffering from dementia and or PTSD, which is
either of those are
plausible.
Or both are very, very plausible for sure.
And could be why he had some more erratic behavior towards the last few years of his life. He died on July 22nd of 1903 of natural causes, which is funny only because they used to call it general exhaustion. So he just got tired and bowed out. Which is a mood. He was like, I've had enough.
Honestly, that's the way I want to go. I'm like, I'm just too tired for this. Peace out.
He only died because he decided to.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he was like 93 at this point, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1903, he was 93 years old.
That's crazy.
And wild until the day he died.
Really went out on his own terms.
That's all I have about him.
Wow.
I will say, Whitehall still stands. It is open to visitors. So it is it is 500 Whitehall Shrine Road in Richmond, Kentucky. And I think tickets are like $10 a person. Okay. So if you're in the Kentucky area, go check it out.
It is a beautiful building. Like, it's
is.
Very, it looks like it's different from what you would normally find on like Southern plantations. It looks like it's very Gothic in its style.
Yeah. It's amazing. And it's like, it's so big.
Like, I can tell, like, it's cut off on, like, it's almost cut off on the sides. And I can't imagine how far back it goes. This is already a 3-story house.
It's over 10,000 square feet.
Holy shit.
44 rooms.
Oh my god. That's a huge house. That's not a house. That's not a house.
Yeah. The original house was about 3,000 square feet. But when it passed on to Cassius, his wife ended up expanding it while he was in Russia. Because, girl, why not? Get it? Like,
I mean, he's loaded. So, he inherited his wealthy father's fortune, and she was like, what else am I going to do? I'm just going to build more house. Why not?
Yeah. I'm going to build more house for oh my God, each child if split evenly between the 10 kids they had, could have 1,000 square feet per child.
That's crazy.
My God. And, you know, if you scroll down a little bit, you see a picture of him when he was older.
Yes.
With a big old beard.
And those eyebrows.
Those eyebrows. Still as bushy and bold as ever.
Mm-hmm. He literally didn't change color. Like, his hair and his beard are white, and then his eyebrows are still, like, black.
Yeah.
Wow, what a complicated man.
Yeah.
Right? Lots of sides. He definitely had a lot of qualities.
Yes. They were, he was eccentric.
Yeah, that's a word. That's a word in the English language.
He was bold.
Yeah.
He was a little off his rocker.
Yeah, he was very prone to violence, and...
For good, though.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I will literally fight you to save my fellow man. Like, such a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I only took up a little over an hour of everyone's time today. Yeah.
Well, this was an interesting episode. I wasn't I didn't know this man, and I wasn't expecting us to have the experience we had today reviewing the subject material. I'm exhausted now. All that laughing, I'm like, oh, I want to take a nap.
Oh my God. I know. I'm glad I have extra drinks.
I need a tea refill. Been drinking iced tea because it's so fucking hot.
Oh, I've been wearing leggings and a sweatshirt today.
No.
I literally stepped outside into the light of day today to greet my children as they ran through the yard, and I was like, man, it's hot out here. Like,
we'll say today was cooler, at least in my area. It was a lot cooler than it's been, but like it's literally like I walk outside, like, and my work gets out at like 3, 4.
Oh, the peak.
So it's just like I immediately just want to just melt.
Sweltering. Like, yeah. I think it was like high of 93 here today. Mm-hmm. Felt like maybe 90, 98.
I think it was like mid 80s. Because it felt cold.
Oh my God. Because humidity.
Yeah, that humidity. I was getting in my car yesterday. Well, I wasn't. I opened the door and I stood outside it, and one of my, someone who works where I work, like, was walking past, and he was like, "You letting your car air out?" And I was like, "Uh-huh. It is too hot in there. Do not want to bake."
Yeah. I spoke with our bestie Sarah today. Uh-huh. And she told me that at 10:30 this morning down in New Orleans, the heat index was 103.
Ugh, yeah. Awful. Y'all, it's hot in the South. We're not doing okay.
That's why I'm in the house if I can be.
Shall we get into our socials?
Let's do it. So if you like this and want to hear more, you can find us on Facebook.
Ill-Equipped History Podcast Group and page.
Instagram.
At Ill-Equipped History.
Gmail.
Ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com.
TikTok.
At Ill-Equipped History. Emileigh's been posting some really great ones.
Oh my God, please go watch them, please. And Patreon.
Patreon.com/Ill-Equippedhistory. Please donate and you get access to stickers and bonus episodes and maybe some special things soon. We're not sure yet, but hopefully.
Yeah. And Chris, I already know that I told you this, but we are definitely going to do some of the suggestions you made.
Oh,
Chris sent us an email and was like,
Chris has sent us some great suggestions. So
seriously, they're the best. So we're gonna keep those a surprise for y'all. But thank you again. You're the best. And if someone opposes you, maybe don't duel them, unless we're talking like maybe a Yu-Gi-Oh duel.
Yeah. It's time to duel. That's fine. Or Beyblade duel. You can do a Beyblade duel.
Beyblades! Yeah, let it rip.
Let it rip.
The motion. Like, why did I do like it's a lawnmower?
You there, just right there, got a little rip.
Oh my God.
Those duels are fine. Don't stab anyone. Don't shoot anyone. Or just we're all adults here. Just have a conversation and communicate like a functioning adult. That's a good option too.
You know what? Here's some parenting advice, guys. If y'all have a boat with a swim platform, this is what I did the other day. My son was very upset at us because we weren't doing what he wanted to do. And I got tired of his whining and I said, "Do you want to fight about it?" And he said, "Yeah." And I went, "Cool, meet me on the swim platform." So we went to the swim platform and I tossed him off the boat about 4 times. So we all won, really, because he actually was smiling by the end of it.
you got to throw your child.
He put his little hands up and he was like, "All right, let's fight." And I grabbed his life jacket and just tossed him. So
let's fight again, Mom.
Yeah. So now he's like, "Do you want to fight about it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's fight about it." And we if we're not on the boat, we just slap each other a little bit on the hands and then we go on. So fight about it safely.
Yes. Don't punch each other.
Please don't.
Or stab.
Don't punch your child. Okay. That is frowned upon.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.